K-State Invitational wraps up on day 3 in the Little Apple at Morgan Family Arena. Kansas State taking on Rice, a team that has been ranked for much of the season, receiving votes in this week's top 25. Courtside with you now, Brian Smoller along with Liz Wagner-Bush. Glad you could join us here today on day 3 of the K-State Invitational. We saw an entertaining tilt yesterday here on ESPN Plus between Rice and LIU. Curious as to what Rice team will see here today. Yeah, definitely not the team we expected to see out of Rice yesterday, so I definitely think they have something to prove here today against K-State. Wildcats will be going after it today with an emerging star on the outside. Everybody knows about Aaliyah Carter, but Anaya Clinton has kind of popped up here out of nowhere. Yeah, she's having a breakout year for the Wildcats. Only playing in 22 of 27 sets they've played, has 58 kills, averaging 2.64 kills per set, hitting 300, really providing quite a spark for the Wildcats, exactly what Coach Mansfield is wanting from her this year. And then on the other side, you have Danielle Courtley. She has been the steady Eddie for this Rice team. She's averaging almost 16 kills, 17 kills most games that she's playing, hitting a good high percentage at 270 to really kind of a steady player for this Rice team. 3.39 kills per set, and as you said, has hit for a high percentage as an outside hitter. Last year had 10 matches over 300, including one at 500. Those are high numbers. 270s have been a pretty good number for an outside hitter. It is, and you have to remember they've been playing some very tough competition, so she's hitting that against some really good teams. K-State, yet another Power 5 school that Rice is matched up against. The Wildcats trying to edge their way towards conference play on a roll. We'll see if they can win this tournament at home. They took care of LIU in 3 sets the other day. Before we get to the starters and the start of this match, let's get your keys to victory. Let's get Rice first. What do you see for Jenny Volpe's team today? Yeah, Rice really struggled taking care of the ball yesterday, so their first key today is they've got to have good ball control, limit their errors, get themselves into system, and then as I mentioned, they have to not have a lot of errors that really allowed Long Island to stay in that game with them yesterday. And then for K-State, they need to put the pressure on Rice. They've got to serve really tough, make them get out of system and play clean, and then set the tone. At home, playing a high-quality team, they need to get a win. They got to set that tone early in this match. Jason Mansfield, the head coach of the Wildcats in his first year since coming over as a top assistant at Washington, before that Stanford, Illinois, and now running his own program for the first time. Morgan Family Arena has averaged over 3,000 fans the first few matches. It'll be a little light today with football playing at the same time, but a lot of young Wildcat fans in attendance today to watch the Wildcats in this hopping environment inside Morgan Family Arena, the home of K-State volleyball. Rice, on the other hand, 5-4, survived the upset bid of LIU yesterday. They now have won 2 of the last 3 and 3 of the last 4 as they go into this matchup, trying to get a little momentum into AAC play. We'll get to that a little bit later on. Underway from the Little Apple, Katie Fernholz gets a touch at the middle of the net, and the Wildcats get the first point of the day. Yeah, Coach Mansfield was wondering, the net, I don't know if you noticed, it was just shaking there, and it was like, did you see a touch on that net? Wildcats get the point, and they'll serve with Mackenzie Morris, their libero. A little more underrated liberos in the league, and Sydney Boulding and Schloseski slam the door on Courtley. A good start for K-State's block. Yeah, Courtley's going to be facing a big block, and Sydney Boulding. Boulding's been so good this year. She's got to really get out, transition, and hit high. Boulding 1.77 blocks per set, second best in the Big 12 Conference coming into play today. She led the league in blocking a year ago, the All-American candidate. Should mention here, Courtley, we talked about this yesterday during the match with LIU. She was kind of working out her shoulder a couple different times, especially late in the set. And today, you can see she's got some tape and some wrap on that right shoulder. That'll be something to keep an eye on. Carter hard into the block of Rice. The Owls run a slide. Morris with a dive. Out of system swing for Carter. All the way over to Courtley. Forced to control it over. Back out to Carter. Throw left line, and it's in.
Better start for the Owls on defense. They gave themselves an opportunity, but a free ball for K-State in transition. You know they're going to take advantage of that.
Rallies hurt the Owls yesterday early in that match against LIU. It wasn't until the 5th they were able to clean it up. Going back to one of your keys to victory, ball control, that was an issue. As rallies wore on, they just were not able to pass and set consistently. Give those hitters a chance. Carter. Courtley with a saving dig. McCardle, star libero for Rice, sends it over. Boulding trying to drop it in. McCardle gets it up near the net. Touched by the block of K-State. Shavy Myers got the start today instead of Clinton. A couple of swings early, but no kills. Here's Carter again, getting a lot early, and gets another underneath the hands of the center.
Yeah, some long rallies here. Both teams, good defensive effort here early on, flying around. But Carter doing a nice job hitting high in into that big block of Rice.
2 kills already for Carter in her 5 swings. So Olszewski to the back row. Courtley, one blocker, dug by Morris near the table. Carter couldn't keep it over after Grigorski kept it alive.
Yeah, great set there by Rawlings. Gave Courtley a pretty wide open seam there. Morris just not able to handle that.
And in comes Lola Ford. Wondered who would start at right side hitter today for Rice. After Ford got pulled late, but Ford a block at her first attempt against Myers. Ford an explosion of a day offensively against LIU yesterday. 17 kills at .395.
Yeah, she was almost unstoppable, but just Rice just couldn't get going besides her.
Boulding in the corner.
And we noticed this in the earlier match against Long Island. Boulding doing a better job hitting back across her body, more at the right back of their opponent versus the wrist away. And she's been getting more kills by kind of changing up her attacking.
Nia Clinton, who we talked about in the open, is in now for K-State, defending here on the left. Change-up shot from Boulding. And finishing on the right is Courtley.
Yeah, Courtley, nice job in transition. Doesn't get much of an approach, but just hits high. Has that high volleyball IQ.
Senior who was preseason All-American Conference selection. Second team pick a year ago, former high school All-American. Clinton, serve receive. Myers off the block.
Myers has had a pretty quiet year for the Wildcats, but very, very reliable. Does a nice job using the block in front of her.
Came in the last 4 matches, just 8 kills in those 4 matches, 6 errors on 36 swings. Those are not the numbers we saw a year ago from Myers. So perhaps Jason Mansfield doing what he can today to try and get her going.
Yeah, we talked about the depth in the outside hitter core for K-State, and that's one of the options, and I'm sure he would like to see her putting up more numbers like she did last year for this Wildcat team.
4-1 lead for K-State to start this match. Seeing that lead dip down a little bit, get back on track with Katie Fernholz.
The slide, her bread and butter, nice fast tempo set for her, able to beat the Rice block.
Look at that action there. Often you hear about 2 sports stars in volleyball, basketball players that are also good volleyball players. Usually that move, that slide, like a layup in basketball, if you're a good hoops player, that's usually your bread and butter. Good quick set by Rice to turn it around in their middle. Kostelecki, the senior.
She had a pretty quiet night for the Owls yesterday. They're going to look to try to get her going a little bit more. 2
kills. One of them was on a play just like that, but they could not keep it going.
It looks like Rice is going to go to a 6-2 offense here. We saw that in the 5th set yesterday against Long Island.
Darby Harris in the back row as the setter. She's got it here. Puts up Veska. Maruska also in, so 2 hitters in for Rice. They had big days yesterday, and Carter from the pipe gets a lucky break, hitting the tape. Wildcats will get the serve back. So a good start here for K-State. And let's bring in Sophie Smith, third member of our crew. A good start is exactly what Jason Mansfield wanted, right, Sophie?
Thanks, Brian. Coach Jason Mansfield said after the Wildcats win against LIU that he loved how they performed midway through the first set and the rest of the match. He continued to say how they've been searching to be better in the first set, and that has been their focus in the last couple of matches, but they are certainly capable of being better.
A quick start was mentioned. That was what was a big key for him today. Thanks, Sophie. Appreciate that. We're going to hear more from Sophie a little later. Going to look here at the power of Maruska. And a challenge coming from Rice if there was a touch on this swing by Maruska.
We saw the line judge here closest on the right side of the court called the touch, but the up referee overruled.
Dan Hauser's our tower official. Bill Stanley is the one doing reviews, and he's the one at the table now to take a look at this. Take a look ourselves as well. Saw that last replay from the low angle to see if a hand bent back on the swing by Maruska. A couple of looks here at it to see if a finger bent back. Again, Szulczewski is only 5'7", but her leaping ability is so good. See, she is almost equal as Fernholz, who at 6'2" is a pretty big block.
Like it might have got.
Yeah, might have seen the finger.
Szulczewski's hand maybe, or?
We'll see what Bill Stanley decides here. On the court, ruled a no touch. See if there's enough evidence to overturn. Kansas State coming in after beating LIU. They were also talking about the Lipscomb match the other day. It looks like Fernholz actually might be the guilty party here.
Oh, yeah.
At Lipscomb last Saturday, K-State took on a team that was hosting a tournament that looked very poor the day before, and K-State was lights out against UT Martin, but they came out a little flat against Lipscomb. Perhaps we're riding their coattails a little bit. You do see indeed the touch awarded to Rice. Challenge won by Jenny Volpe. Anyway, Jason Mansfield's point to his team yesterday after they watched a little bit of Rice LIU is he took them back to the locker room. He said, we only need to remember what happened to us last week. We cannot afford to come out flat, and that's exactly what Sophie was just talking about. He wanted to see not just a good start or a good middle part of that first set. He wanted to see a continual, right from the get-go, focus like it's Big 12 play against this Rice team. Hinkle in this rotation, setting Szulczewski. Szulczewski comes back and misses wide. Not one that hits out often, but she misses here with the attack error. Only the second of the afternoon by K-State, and we are tied now in this first set. So a good recovery by Rice after being down 3 or 4 points to start. Not a great serve receive, touched over by Fernholz. Pipe for Maruska, off of Morris, and nearly up into the club.
We'll see both of these teams will like to set that pipe out of the back row. They have very dynamic, explosive hitters. It's almost like a front row attack with their leaping abilities from behind the 10-foot line.
Maruska, all-conference tournament selection a year ago, preseason all-league this year. Big things were expected from her. Kind of lost her spot, though, to the freshman sensation, Changwa, but we haven't seen Changwa yet. Carter at out-of-system swing. Rice looking to get in command, and now they have taken a 2-point lead.
That was a great swing by Carter, but McCardle with a great dig to give Rice that opportunity in transition.
So much like we thought, Rice, as you said, a much better appearance and performance so far today than yesterday. Really picking up from where they left off in the 5th set. And an ace by Maruska. This looks like the team we saw in the 5th set that hit 333 and slammed the door on LIU. Got down big early in that 5th set, then kind of adjusted the lineup, went to the 6-2, and they rolled from that point forward. Carter, another out-of-system swing. Courtley the other way, hard through the block. Carter's going to try a deep throw. Left side just going toe-to-toe here. Block right back in the face of Courtly. She'll get another chance. Morris digs it. And Carter trying to tool the block, misses everything. And Jason Mansfield says timeout. The Rice Owls on a 6-0 run have gone up by 4 in the Little Apple. Back in a moment on Big 12 Now on ESPN+.
Check it out.
Introducing the new and improved taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar. Now more delicious. Zero never tasted so good. Try it now.
You know, with the new Rivalry Riches instant ticket from the Kansas Lottery, you're supposed to scratch both sides. Well, suit yourselves. But with Rivalry Riches, you could scratch your way up to $50,000. Just be sure to play both sides.
You're getting thirsty. Bold. Refreshing. So good. I mean, dude.
Championship on the line. Good! It's good!
A 6-0 run by the Rice Owls have them by 4 over Kansas State here at home, trying to take down the Wildcats and upset them in their own tournament. A Rice team receiving votes at the top 25. TCU next up for K-State, another team that's red hot. What a performance they had last night. More on them a little later. So out of the timeout, what does K-State do to try and change things up? Carter blocked by Veska and Kostelecki, and it's down on K-State's side, so it's a 7-0 run by the Owls.
That set was floating pretty tight to the net and going up against Veska. Big block. Carter's got to get that a little bit higher.
Maruska in this serving run. Good float serve. Wildcats go to Fernholz, block. Hinkle slides in behind. Sholszewski wanted to swing. Rice was ready for it. Out of system, the Wildcats send it over. Rice back the other way. Kept alive, put over by Morris. Veska, dug, but over. K-State barely surviving here in this rally. Back to Veska, blocked again. Hinkle sets, Carter. Not a great swing by Courtly, but going over the net, and one by Courtly.
Wow, that was quite a rally. Really, Rice just putting it on K-State, just some over digs. And that overpass there, Sholszewski tried.
8-0 run now here by this Rice squad. What do the Wildcats have as an answer? Fernholz, whoa, by Courtly!
Wow, that was a phenomenal block. You'll see she gets outside that slide and then dives back into that angle. Great finish. Courtly getting some great touches there.
Well, after a week in which they have really struggled with consistency in play, this is the Rice team Jenny Volpe had hoped that she would have. It's a team that beat number 22 USC earlier this year. They are firing on all cylinders as the USC transfer. Veska picks up a kill. And another timeout by Jason Mansfield. 9-0 run here by the Rice Owls as they are running things against the K-State defense. Of course, when you talk about K-State defense, you talk about Mackenzie Morris. And Mac Morris for K-State leads the Big 12 currently in digs per set, 4.59. She has the high watermark for the most digs in 3 sets this year by any player of the Big 12 with 20. And Sophie, you had a chance to catch up with Mac Morris a little earlier this week. What did she have to say?
That's right, Brian. When asked about the things that were really important that needed to be worked on in this week of practice, defensive specialist Mackenzie Morris said its consistency is key right now, especially heading into conference play. They need to be able to get themselves out of holes that they dig and make good play after good play.
All right, thanks, Sophie. Appreciate it. By the way, glad to have you back with us. Feeling a little under the weather this week. No fun being sick.
No, definitely not. And, you know, to that point, that's definitely, you know, K-State can't get in a hole against good teams. It's hard. If you dig yourself a hole of 3 or 4 points, then it is hard to come back because you almost have to play perfect. And in reality, volleyball just doesn't work that way. You know, it's definitely a game of ups and downs, and you got to be able to kind of ride those waves and not give away too much.
Well, if they've been working on this scenario in practice, they get to now to put it into into not just practice but execution.
Well,
Put yourself in a big hole.
I feel a little bit like the hitters need to make some adjustments. The block for Rice is figuring out, so they need to make some adjustments, hit some different shots, and try to get the ball down. They got to get this side out.
Maruska, it's not as if Maruska's serve has been as put on K-State, as difficult as you might think. It's a good float serve. But boy, the Wildcats just cannot find anything on the offensive end here. Carter giving it a look on defense. Fernholz as well could not get it over, and another point to the Owls.
Yeah, K-State's really putting in some effort there defensively. They just aren't controlling the ball, kind of like we saw Rice struggling with yesterday, getting that ball in a position that they can go in transition and get an attack.
An 11-0 run here by Rice, and Maruska is going to bail out K-State with a service error. But what a run at the line by Maruska. Credit also Harris in this 6-2 rotation. Didn't set it all yesterday until the 5th. Now getting in there today, she picked all the right places to go with the ball. And that rotation. Now Morris to serve. K-State needs a good run. And a block on Veska by Bolding to get it started.
Yeah, with Veska not being the lefty that Ford is, that's a really hard angle to hit with that ball, almost coming over your head, and you can't really see the block in front of you. K-State does a nice job of staying tight and pressing over.
Kansas State is 3rd in the Big 12 in blocks, averaging 3 a set. That was their difference against LIU. Quick set at the middle, touched by that cat block. Solszewski tipping over the block. Courtley does well. Thrown out to Carter, coming our way, got a bit unlucky. Hit the tape, and that kept it from its snap down towards the court.
Yeah, it's the right angle. It's open for Carter inside that big block, but just not able to keep it out of the net.
So after a good start for K-State on the outside, they have made 7 errors on the attack here to begin. 7 kills, 7 errors, so hit percentage of 0. Bolding tries to change that, cannot. Courtley coming. A little miscommunication, and Carter hammered by the block of Veska.
That's a big, big block for Carter. She doesn't get much of a transition, so she's not able to do much besides that cross-court shot.
Impressed with Rice. I mean, again, we saw it for 4 sets. They completely lost against LIU, searching for a comment. They played 20 players, it felt like, in yesterday's match. And then the 5th, it all kind of locked in, and all of a sudden you're like, all right, this is the Rice team we've heard about being ranked all season long. You wondered, we said at the outset, which Rice team would show up. The answer is it's the team that was in the 5th set, at least here for the start of this match. They have been impressive.
Very, very impressive. They cleaned things up for sure. They're really putting all the pressure on K-State's side. That allows you to play more freely too. You know, you can go up and swing away at balls. Right now, like Carter's trying to find an answer, you know, against the big block because she's just in transition, getting so many plays and not really getting that open net.
Solszewski, good serve. McCardle better to it though. Back to Veska. Getting a lot of chances here early. Myers on the right, overpass coming. Carter dropped it over. Ricardo touches it on K-State's side, and it's off of Carter. Boy, when it's going wrong, that's what happens.
Yeah, so like nothing's going K-State's way.
That was so close. It might have gone out, but Carter felt like at the last second she had to play it, and at that time, too little, too late. So McCardle will get credit for the kill. The All-American from a year ago. She had 33 digs in yesterday's match against LIU, a season high. McCardle, another dig. Here's Veska from behind the 3-meter line.
Wow, I'm not sure how she got to that ball. It was so fast. She almost had to broad jump so far, almost to the net to get that ball, but able to sneak it through K-State's block.
Veska, who did not play until the last 2 sets of the match, commits a service error to give it back to K-State, but it was Ford that played for Veska to start and was absolutely dominant. And Veska, the highly touted transfer from USC, was non-existent, and you kind of wondered, well, is she hurt? What's the deal? And I mean, Ford was dominating, so it didn't make any sense to put her in. Then she appeared late, had a pretty good finish, but
yes,
man, what an impressive start for Veska. A couple of blocks, couple of kills here in this first set. Short serve. One of the rare times out of system for Rice. Clinton. Courtley finishes.
Wow, that was a great shot by Courtley. That set was so fast, but she's able to step close and just slip it by the K-State block. Whew.
Stung it from behind the 3-meter line again. And Rice, a dominating first set, closing in on the win. Myers gets her second kill. Swinging away at the right side.
Yeah, nice high swing again by Myers. Using that block, no one there behind to cover that touch off the block.
Out of Lincoln, Nebraska. Maruska up into the crowd.
Yeah, it's one of those rotations with Bolding serving. She's got to come in and play defense. Typically, Morris would be there. Bolding just not able to handle that attack.
77% side-out percentage right now for Rice. Largely because of that 1-11-0 run that they had in the middle. And an attack that's outside the antenna, a break for K-State.
Yeah, you felt like Ford had an opportunity being a lefty over there to make a play, but just too wide of that antenna to keep it in.
Ford on the right side. Maruska, 2 blocks in a row for K-State, but Rice gets it over. Jump set for Clinton, block put out. And Anaya Clinton makes it back-to-back points for K-State.
Yeah, nice play there by Clinton. Just almost has to rip it off that block because that set's pretty low for her. Doesn't give it her full swing, but using the block, smart play by Clinton.
Wow, this first set may be lost. K-State trying to build a little momentum towards the second. Ford gets it through the block. Right side attack for Rice, clicking on all cylinders. And it is set point here in the first for the Rice Owls. Clinton, blocked down by Kostelecki. 6 blocks in the first set by the Rice Owls. And behind the right side attack, the Owls, thanks to an 11-0 run, dominate the first.
The Little League World Series champions!
Chris Vaughn telling his son that he was being drafted.
You want to come to work with me next week?
Makes it so magical.
Deuce Vaughn in the end zone.
The Little League World Series champions!
All eyes are on the WNBA this postseason. Superstars elevate to new heights on the W's biggest stage. The moment is here. We're all about the WNBA playoffs.
Football is back. Got your new fantasy team name? Check. Grill? Check. Fancy Grill? Check. Troy and Joe? Check. Bro and Bro? Check. All the emotions? All season long? Check, baby.
We're all about the WNBA playoffs.
Rice with an 11-0 run midway through the first set dominates Kansas State in their own gym, 25-15 the win of the first set. Rice sides out at 73%. They only commit 3 attack errors en route to the victory. Brian Smoller, Liz Wagner-Bush, Sophie Smith, our entire crew here from Morgan Family Arena on Big 12 Now on ESPN+. 6 blocks by Rice in that first set. They do have size up front, especially with Veska back in there. Liz, how much of the block was Rice correctly predicting where K-State was going to go with the ball, and how much of it was K-State hitters not making an adjustment to what they were seeing in front of them?
Well, I think it helps having Veska in that position, but definitely K-State wasn't passing well enough to get much balance in their offense, throwing a lot of balls to the outside, a lot of pressure on those outside hitters. And, when that ball's going outside, the block can set up more easily, doesn't give you as many seams and angles to work at. And so just kind of a bad situation for K-State not getting that ball, getting in system enough to get those side outs.
Talking about blocks for Rice, that is what they were doing there in that first set, shutting down K-State left and right. 3 blocks for Veska already, 2 each for Kanabi and Kostelecki.
Yeah, just impressive. They are doing a nice job pressing low. They're keeping the hitters in front of them. And just much better show here for Rice early in this match.
Corley's kind of done it all. We opened the night talking about the star outside hitter of Rice. 5 kills, 267 on the left. She's taken more swings than anyone else. 3 digs, a pair of blocks, all in that first set. Pretty impressive stuff for number 14 there on the right of your screen, even with the shoulder that's taped up a little bit today. So after hitting 282 in the first set overall as a team, the Owls will flip the court with 1 set in their back pocket on their attempt to try and win 3. You can see you're still working out that right shoulder.
She is.
K-State hit 23 in that first set, 10 kills, 9 errors. They'll try and turn their fortunes around with Aaliyah Carter beginning in the back row with serve. She's their best server. She and Liz Grigorski each with 12 aces on the year. So Carter to put it in. And a high hand shot by Courtley is ruled a touch by K-State.
Yeah, I thought there might have been a touch. Just found the fingertips of that K-State block.
Carter, Miles, Clinton, the hitters on the court for K-State. Serve will go at Carter. Myers is blocked. Back to Clinton. And in the block on K-State, it's going to be on Clinton.
You see that transition pass for Rice was good enough. They were able to get that middle in transition. If you can get a good enough pass defensively and get your middles more involved, that really takes the pressure off those outside hitters.
Well, balance is kind of what Rice is looking for. Get more on that in a minute here from Sophie Smith. As they get one up the middle again. And the Owls with a 3-0 start here in this second set. Let's go over to Sophie. You know, Coach Volpe has talked about this, right? About being more equal across the board, balance across the board, whatever you want to say.
Thanks, Brian. Head coach Jenny Volpe is in her 20th season as head coach at Rice, and under her watch, the Owls have been to 8 NCAA championships. She says that her team is best when balanced, having equal kills across the board, and if teams force them to play to just the pins, they just aren't as effective.
Thank you, Sophie. That's exactly what they've been today. They've mixed it up. It hasn't been the left or equal the right. They've now started an attack in the middle. K-State finally gets on the board there with Clinton. Wildcats need a good run at serve. Bolding, one of their better servers a year ago, has Rice on the run. But Courtley comes right at Bolding and gets the kill.
Yeah, we saw that earlier in the first set. Bolding coming in to play defense after serving, just not able to handle that defensively.
Clinton got a touch at the net.
I did think there was a touch as well.
Yep, not much argument for Rice.
Nope.
Usually the players on the court will give you a tip as to what actually occurred. If there was a massive protest, you would see Rice throw up a review card to challenge one of the first set, won it. Here's Hinkle to serve. Ford. Tight set for Clinton. Tight set over on the other side. And past K-State's defense.
So you see K-State's coaches are calling for the setter leaving early to go release and play the ball. And they're also complaining about some doubles for Rice. We'll see if there's any adjustments in the calling of the game.
What do you mean by releasing early?
So in position, you can't leave to go up to set the ball until the ball has been served. It actually has to be contacted before you can release in your serve receive.
See about that when K-State serves again. We'll see if that occurs. You can point that out.
And with Rice running a 6-2, that setter's always back row, so they're not really coming from an easy position right front. They have to move across the court a lot of different positions.
Rawlings, you see there on the lower part of your screen. Setter for Rice at the moment. Here's Clinton getting a high set and missing wide. K-State just cannot get out of their own way right now. Attack error is stacking up for the Wildcats. 10 already on the afternoon.
I really like Clinton's idea, thought there, but she's got to find the corner more. Too far cross court.
Fernholz. Maruska. Sholszewski sells the set and then gets called for a lift. It's one of the things that's a point of emphasis this year in college volleyball is throwing the ball. If the ball gets too much into your hand and it's deemed that you're with the ball cupped,
catching it,
that's right, ball up against your palm and you throw it, you're gonna get whistled. Got to be out on your fingertips. No argument from the K-State bench. Here's Fernholz and a blocking error up against Rice. Maruska. Clinton comes out, has a conversation with Jason Mansfield. Great tutor of outside hitters. Has done so over multiple stops. 5 Olympians, 16 All-Americans at outside hitter in his career. I shorted him, 25 All-Americans. Fernholz with a block in the middle.
Yeah, much different attack there by Ford from what we saw yesterday. Not quite as much velocity on that attack.
Grigorski tied with Carter in service aces with 12. She had 5 in a match earlier this year, which is tied for the second most in a Big 12 match. Maruska trying to turn that around and does.
Wow.
What a line shot by Maruska.
That had to be just smallest of spaces. Ooh, yep.
Man.
In.
That was like a tennis serve as fast as it was going. Overpass, K-State. Szolszewski able to save it. And then Carter gets a break with McCardle unable to handle the hot mustard.
Yeah, it felt like that ball might have been going out of bounds, but McCardle plays it high over her shoulder.
See Jason Mansfield taking a little bit more time here to talk with his outside hitters, trying to get them back on track after a lot of errors. Blocked by K-State, but couldn't keep it in. A little bit better play here by the Wildcats as of late. Trying to get back on track here in the second set. Still very much a part of the match.
Yeah, they seem engaged. They're still fighting. You want to see that from your team.
Owls, though, continue to hit low air. Something, again, talked about at the outset. Needed to control from yesterday. They certainly have done that. Hitting 340 on the afternoon. Veska blocked. Bowling.
Wow, that is a block there by Boulding. Veska trying to slip it inside.
Look at the height.
Boulding's arms there, just shutting it down. Nice move by Boulding.
I think Boulding's collarbone was at the net, at the tape. So high. Maruska. Here comes Carter with a full head of steam. Szolszewski, Boulding. Rice now in system. They go out left. Maruska walled again, this time Boulding on the right.
Yeah, exactly what K-State needs is their defense, especially blocking to get going. K-State's such a great blocking team that really will bring some momentum and power and make Rice start making some errors.
Shaylee Myers will get credit as well for that. She ended up being the one to touch it, pushing over with Boulding. Veska this time over the block. Szolszewski dug. Myers forced a tip and it works out. It's just like that. Kansas State running some points.
Yeah, much better effort here by K-State, putting more pressure on Rice with their block and defensive effort.
Veska trying to tip, could not. And a throw to the corner by Carter.
Smart mix up there. That set was low for Carter, but saw the open deep corner shot. She's been ripping it cross court, so good mix up there by Carter.
4 straight points for K-State, part of a larger 5-1 run. Maruska dug by Grigorski. Miscommunication in the back, but Boulding wins the joust and the point. Tied up at 10, crowd on its feet, timeout Rice. We're back to Morgan Family Arena in a moment on Big 12 Now on ESPN+.
Coach Chris Kleiman with a message of hope for families battling drug addiction. No one takes drugs like meth, cocaine, and ecstasy expecting to become addicted. You should know that addiction can happen to anyone because it's a disease of the brain. But that also means recovery is possible. Addiction doesn't have to be permanent, and the state of Kansas is ready to assist you every step of the way.
Visit findtreatment.gov or call the Kansas Substance Abuse Referral Line at 866-645-8216.
Morning. Hey. Nice day for a walk. Let's get in some steps later.
I'd love to, but I have to stay home for my tune-up. My convenience window is 10 to 7.
I scheduled ours with Kate's because I could choose the exact time.
No more waiting around?
Yep, just go online and book the time that works best for you.
Book your tune-up online at katesheatingandcooling.com. Because who can keep your home feeling homey year-round? That's right.
Kate's can.
We started at 12, winning 11 deep, and dropping dimes since 9-6. What happened when the Big 8 met the Southwest? 7 Heismans, count them, with 6 at the net, 5 on the floor, and 4 schools stronger. We put up threes, throw up deuces, and make one thing clear. We've always been greater than 12.
Now, this last play kind of showing Kansas State's grit a little bit here in this second set. They've been a lot better and more engaged. Beyond that, what else are they doing right that's allowed them to get back and now tie this thing up?
Sydney Bolding happened. She has really just come alive with her blocking and is pressing and taking away a lot of the shots that Rice took advantage of early in that first set.
2 kills for Bolding, now 4 blocks. She had 6 blocks in 3 sets against FIU or LIU the other day. This time, good adjustment by Rice, tipping over Bolding in case they're unable to cover. So that ends their run, and the Owls will side out and have Maruska, who led an 11-0 run with her serve in the first set. Bombed all the way over to Myers. That was blocked. Gregorski with a great cover. Courtly touches it into the block and gets the finish.
Yeah, Courtly, smart, just kind of almost a late kind of tip into that block as they were coming down.
10 kills for Courtly now, hitting .429 on the left. She came to play. Veska. Carter, touched by the block, in system, Rice to Courtly, and another. 11 for the all-conference outside.
Yeah, Courtly taking advantage of Carter over there blocking on the right side, knowing Bolding's there. You can't go up against Bolding, you gotta go at Carter's hands. Very smart. Again, that volleyball IQ.
See why she's hit such high percentages in her career. Low air, high percentage, .455 hitting now for Courtly. An error by Maruska gives the ball back to K-State. 3 errors today by Rice on serve, 2 of them by Maruska. And now Carter to serve, and K-State down only 2. Veska tough to get it over the net. Pipe shot, Carter. Couldn't quite get as much on it as she wanted. Veska. Myers with only 1 blocker, no. Third try for Veska. And it's Courtly to bail out Rice again.
Wow, so smart. Big block up against Courtly there with Myers and Bolding, and just sees that roll shot over. So smart.
Right into the heart of the campfire. And
by the way, Veska, that one play ball was way, I don't know how she got that ball over the net.
No idea either. When you're thinking that's a broken play,
exactly.
Done. Myers does well, tools the block.
And we've seen that. Myers going at the outside hitter's hands when she's attacking very smartly over there on the right side.
4 kills for Myers, second behind Carter, but K-State continues to struggle at hit percentage. Again, 10 attack errors on the day have been the big reason why. Molly Ramsey off the bench to serve for K-State. Adding another passer in the back row. Clinton from behind the 3-meter line. Out to Courtly, and a double hit on K-State.
Olszewski went into the referee stand there hard. Make sure she's okay.
Yep, making sure, Jason Mansfield. So now Veska to serve. Serve kind of ate up Carter. It's thrown out towards Clinton. McCardle digs that. Courtley wide of the mark. Only the second misfire by Courtley here today.
Well, she brought some heat. Thought she could maybe bring it inside that block. Hard cross court, just a little too wide. She wants that one back, I can tell.
Lauren Hinkle to serve. Hinkle battled injuries early this year for K-State. Missed the first weekend. Has a lower right leg injury and has not been 100%. Still fighting through it. Courtley, speaking of fighting through, gets through another block of K-State. But Hinkle being gone has allowed Szulczewski to take over the setting role, but it also has limited K-State's options with Hinkle. Again, a great passer, great all-around athlete, and someone that they felt could be maybe in a 6-2 if she was 100% healthy.
Yeah, definitely. And with the attackers and options they have, running a 6-2 would allow them more offensive weapons and a bigger block at the net.
Hinkle and Szulczewski will both be on the court here. Service error by Rice gives the ball right back to K-State.
And Mansfield was so good for Rice yesterday, serving-wise, struggling here a little bit.
Yesterday was her first match of the season. The sophomore from Houston. Ended up with an ace, 9 digs, but as you said, an error today and not as effective in the back row. Ford, blocked by Fernholz.
I'm sure a point of emphasis for K-State after scouting Rice yesterday was shutting down Ford. She was so effective for Rice against Long Island, but has really been a non-factor so far in this match today.
4 blocks in this set by K-State. So one of the best blocking teams in the country starting to get on its course. Carter throws, corner, gets it. And if you look at that play and you're just a casual volleyballer and you're like, wait a minute, how's that different than Szulczewski earlier? You can see this is with the fingertips by Carter, not up into the palm.
Right. It didn't stay in her hand very long.
K-State's come back to tie it again. Gorski, another good serve. Bump set coming out left. A little high for Carter. Ford. So here's where the 2 setters help. Hinkle steps in front of Szulczewski if she took the play. And Hinkle feeds Carter to give K-State the lead.
Yeah, it's nice having a backup setter on the court at all times. Gives them an advantage.
So after Rice rolled K-State to the first, a little bit more selling in now in the second, and K-State's defense starting to kick in here. 6 blocks, now 7 on the day, 5 of them in this set.
Rice not going to take any more chances here, going back with Veska.
And Harris.
And Harris. Harris will be taking over setting duties, playing all the way around.
In the first set, this is when Rice was at their best with Veska and Harris back in there, teaming up with Maruska. Overpass on the serve receive. Maruska trying to go line shot. This time Hinkle digs it. All the way out for Carter. Tough to keep that one in, and she could not.
Yeah, that ball, you know, you just think about the trajectory of that ball and the pace of it, the spinning of the ball, and the Carter's got to go up there and hit that ball. It's hard to do. It's really hard to do, and it's just crazy.
She almost pulled that off.
So close. I like that line shot. Good idea.
It was open. Fernholz blocked, but back over to K-State. Cats by 1, looking to build the lead. Cannot. Maruska blocks Fernholz. After a 6-block first set by Rice, that's their first of the second set.
You saw Szulczewski repeated there with Fernholz, thinking that she might fool the block, but Maruska all over it.
Quite a leaper is Maruska. Carter trying to drop one over, a little popcorn defense, and Rice couldn't get it over. K-State bench wanted to lift. Usually do see those on those low ones.
Yes.
But it works out for K-State anyway. They get the point. Push ahead by 1 late in the second. Trying to even this match up. Get a quick respite in the locker room, then right back out after a 5-minute intermission. And an ace by Morris. The first of the day by Kansas State. Third in the league in service aces. They get their first today and force a Rice timeout. And as Jenny Volpe pulls her team over to have a conversation, Rice playing so well in that first set, seemingly trying to get it back on track here in the second. They've been here before in the sense that they have been up against tough opponents all season long. For more on that, back over to Sophie Smith.
Thanks, Brian. This is Rice's first year in the American Athletic Conference. Coach Volpe said that their non-conference schedule has always been tough, which helped them go to 62-4 in Conference USA the last 5 years. But this year, it's helped them prepare for a run in a tougher league such as the American Athletic Conference.
Yeah, coming from Conference USA, where they had been to 5 NCAA tournaments in a row, as you said, dominating that league, and now into the AAC. And they're preseason number 2 in the AAC West Division, 1 point behind SMU, but you're always a little bit unknowing, right? You don't know exactly what you're going to face in the AAC. A little bit different teams, different volleyball. SMU pretty solid. Wichita State year in, year out, has been pretty darn good. They'll open up with UAB at home coming up on Wednesday, then Tulsa on the road for 2 next weekend. But historically, you would think Rice would be just fine in the AAC. But to make sure, with a younger team with some losses from last year, Jenny Volpe went out and challenged her team, and here they are. They have played, if you count K-State, another yet Power 5 school, they have played 6 Power 5 schools in the preseason.
Yeah, very impressed with their resume so far, and they've hung in those games. You know, it's hard when you have a young team because you don't quite know what they've got, but challenging them early, you can learn a lot about your team, go through some adversity, and that's going to play a lot towards trying to make that run late in the season to make the NCAA tournament.
They have played 4 ranked opponents. They have taken down 1 already in USC. That was at home. They have played Baylor and Texas of the Big 12, and now K-State. They've also played Stanford, who was ranked 2nd in the country as well. Side out for the Owls. Then it's Harris. Now, as we talked about, looking like she's going to be in all 6 rotations. Back to a 5-1 for Rice. Carter can't hit it over, and we are tied in this second set. And Jason Mansfield wants a timeout.
Looked like she had that seam open, but almost wrist away a little bit too much. I don't even think she got that one over the net. Just an opportunity missed by K-State.
Talk about the conference schedule. The Big 12 from top to bottom. When you look at the standings of the conference, it is loaded. It is a Big 12 league that, with the addition of these new 4 schools, you talk about the AAC, there's 4 schools from the AAC that are now in the Big 12. Cincinnati, UCF in there, and Houston, who's ranked 22nd in the country. Houston had a big win this week over a good Texas A&M team, and then BYU, who sits atop the league at 10-1, ranked 12th in the country. Then you have the normal powers of the Big 12, Texas, Baylor, Iowa State, Kansas. K-State trying to get back up in that mix. They had historically been year in and year out a member of that group. And then you have 2 teams that kind of, you know that they're better than their record shows, Texas Tech and TCU, and you kind of wonder where they're going to be. And then Coach Mansfield's brother at Oklahoma off to a 6-2 start. It's just like, I know you've watched a lot of volleyball on ESPN Plus.
I have. I've been enjoying watching all these games and, you know, kind of prepping for what we're going to see here in Morgan Family Arena. I'm excited to watch some of these teams come, and it elevates the level of play. It's going to just make this conference even more difficult, and one of the top conferences, I think, in volleyball.
No doubt. A big win last night in the league. Baylor taking down Ohio State in 5. TCU defeating Florida State. What a performance from TCU on the outside.
Melanie Parra with 34 kills on 67 swings. Just unbelievable. Just impressive. We'll get to see her here next week.
That's right. She had 385, no doubt, in those 34 swings. It was out like 34 kills and hit a low percentage, 385. And she'll be in town next Thursday and Friday for the Wildcats next Thursday night. $2 tickets and select concessions for those that are coming to the match. Well, Leah Carter comes back, changes up her shot a little bit. Uses the left hand to get it in.
It's tough to defend Carter because you know she can rip it, but she's also got that soft touch every now and then to mix it up.
Carter has 31 of the 84 swings for K-State. Maruska on the left side. We've seen her go line a few times, comes back again, evens it up at 21.
Yeah, she's been a little bit quieter here today, but in times of need has made some big plays for Rice.
She has 10 less swings than Courtly, but has 8 kills, hitting .412, 14 digs.
Wow.
Pretty good stuff.
Yes.
From Maruska, who got the start of the OH2 spot today. Quick set Boulding, and she crushes it.
Exactly what K-State needs, and when they have the opportunity to get those middles more involved, to get those sets going. Great swing there by Boulding. We saw this time again that kind of wrist away. Going back, mixing up her shot.
Courtly off the block of Boulding and Myers.
I can't say enough about what Courtly's doing. We have to remember she's going up against the biggest block K-State has there with Myers and Boulding, and able to slip it through, hitting through high hands.
And as you said, trying to avoid Boulding, going more towards the line. That has worked for Rice. Boulding on the other way. This time didn't get all of it, and it worked out all right. 4 kills now for Boulding, hitting .444. She's got 4 blocks in 2 sets, and she'll go back to serve for K-State. They had brought in Molly Ramsey in this spot to just, not because Boulding's serve is bad, but because I think on the service, on the defensive side, Courtly's been going right at Boulding. So they bring in Ramsey, she'll serve, and add another passer in the back row. A little bit of the chess match here by the 2 head coaches. Oh my, what a turn by Rice.
Wow, that's that fast offense. We know that Rice likes to run almost a double quick, pulling that block all that way, and it happens so fast. K-State just not able to get hands up.
They committed to the middle when the ball looked like it was coming over on the service eve, and then it left everything wide open, and it was almost like a warm-up shot for Courtly. Served up on a tee. Timeout, K-State, their final timeout. An important second set, you feel like. K-State has done well to kind of get into the match, finally got going, found some remedies for what ailed them in the first. Low air, block came alive. But boy, you feel like if they drop this set, it really deflates some of that momentum.
It's a big hole to climb out of, you know, because Rice is a quality team. You know, that they're not going to roll over and give it to them. So, you know, definitely going down 2 sets is a big difference than going, you know, 1-1 and tying it up, because that's anyone's game there. It's a race to 2 out of 3. So, you know, K-State wants to not walk away giving this win away when they fought so hard to get back in it.
Rice has been able to stay out in front and keep it tied because of the play of their left side attack. Maruska and Courtly. We opened the night talking about Danielle Courtly. 16 kills for number 14 in blue for Rice.
And
500 hitting.
We're not even halfway through this match yet. Really just impressive numbers by Courtly. She's almost played a pretty clean match for her. We've only seen the 2 errors on her, making very smart plays in transition, giving her team an opportunity to score points on defense, which is so important. And what you want from your outside hitters. They're going to see a lot of, you know, out-of-system plays, and she's just making smart decisions up there.
Season high 500 hit percentage right now for Courtly. She did hit .481 in the match against Holy Cross earlier this year, but again, dominating. 3rd straight double-figure match, already 16 on the day. Career high is 22, done twice last season. Could be approaching that today. Here's Courtly again, and number 17. Set point for Rice.
Yeah, it's a nice deep attack by Courtly. Kind of, again, a broken play. Not a full runway for her, but just hits that deep corner. I can't say enough. Outside hitters, if you're kind of out of system, that's a great shot.
Serving for the set is Veska. K-State needs 1 point to force extra points. Clinton blocked, and it doesn't get over. And Rice staves off Kansas State and wins the second, 25-23. And now they are just one set away from an upset win here on the road in Manhattan and going 2-0 in the K-State Invitational. We'll take a look at some highlights of the numbers when we return.
Berlin has so much to offer. Staying in a room at Joanna's gave me a feeling of what it could actually look like to live there. It was my last night and we wanted something fun. Joanna is a really good singer, but I am very good with lyrics. The next day we could not really talk because we had such a good time.
All eyes are on the WNBA this postseason. Superstars elevate to new heights on the W's biggest stage. The moment is here. We're all about the WNBA playoffs.
Working within the church for racial unity is one of the most significant things that I was put on this earth to do. But it's difficult for a nonprofit to have the impact that you want when you're spending a lot of your time trying to figure out fundraising. With the help of the Thrivent member network, we were able to expand our organization's reach beyond my wildest dreams.
Love the pants. Love the pants.
Oh, compliments are tough, but you just gotta own it. Thanks. It's Old Navy.
Iconic.
Rice with an impressive 2-0 lead over Kansas State as we bring you back to Morgan Family Arena. Staving off the Wildcats' push for a win there in that second set. Brian Smolder back with Liz Wagner-Bush. Sophie Smith with us on the sidelines as well. Glad you could join us. And this is the Rice team we thought we'd see.
Yeah, definitely.
All weekend.
Yep, 100%. They are firing on all cylinders. You know, we know that they are capable of playing a high level of volleyball, and they're definitely showing that today.
And for a team that speaks about balance, they haven't really needed it because Courtly is so hot on the outside.
Oh my goodness, she's almost unstoppable. Only 2 errors on the day and just doing it in transition, which is what Rice has needed. They are digging balls and getting kills in transition from Courtly, and that's giving them a lot of runs of points, and that's exactly the difference between K-State and Rice right now.
Take a look at some of the numbers. Kansas State and Rice through 2 sets. The kills in favor of Rice because they've been lower error. The hit percentage is much, much better. The digs, an impressive number. 45-14 by Maruska, 9 by Harris, who's closing in on a double-double in that 6-2 rotation at setter, and at times has taken over exclusively as a 5-1. Blocks now about even as well, as K-State had 5 in that second set. Come back with a third when we return.
Check it out.
Introducing the new and improved taste of Pepsi Zero Sugar. Now more delicious. Zero never tasted so good. Try it now.
You know, with the new Rivalry Riches instant ticket from the Kansas Lottery, you're supposed to scratch both sides. Well, suit yourselves. But with Rivalry Riches, you could scratch your way up to $50,000. Just be sure to play both sides.
You're getting thirsty. Bold. Refreshing. So good. I mean, dude.
championship on the line. Good! It's good!
Rice with a 2-0 lead against K-State. Said before the break that it'd be trying to get for the upset, and that's the way it felt based on what we saw the last 2 days. But truthfully, Rice is the higher-ranked team, RPI-wise, in the polls. They are the team that you would think on paper be the favorite coming into this tournament, but played so poorly against Texas in the matchup before this tournament, and then again against LIU. You wondered what we see today. Go back to your keys to victory at the outset. All of these things are huge check marks for Rice, right?
Yes,
They've
for
done it
sure.
well.
They have definitely are controlling the ball. They're giving themselves opportunities in transition, which is huge. And no errors. I mean, they just played a pretty clean match, which has really paid off. But K-State has not been able to put enough pressure on Rice to get them out of system. And then to just, you know, that first set, Rice really took control of it, and K-State didn't get that control, kind of that energy going for their team, and just felt like they were always climbing from behind.
Yeah, the idea of setting the tone. K-State, you felt the first couple of points maybe did it. They had energy. They came out, led 4-1 to start the first, and then it all went away, and Rice rolled from that point forward. Now, ever since, chasing the match, Courtly, a rare mistake.
Yeah, she had a great touch on the block, but just almost freaked out there for a second, forgot what she was doing.
See her, she kind of grabbed her head, kind of that same reaction, like, oh my gosh.
I know, what did I do?
Not quite a Hearn Fieldhouse in this building where it was towel after every set, after every rotation, after every serve, because of how hot it was and humid in that building. But a little warmer in here today than it has been, and seen a little bit more towel work for both sides. Veska blocked initially. K-State's got Bolding up in front of her. Here's Courtly. Rolling it in. 18 for Courtly.
Yeah, Liz Grigorski was just too deep on that shot. Smart play there by Courtly again.
Kostelecki to serve. Satasha Kostelecki from Decatur, Texas. Bolding in the middle. Good cover by Harris. Right over the top of Maruska. Back to Bolding, and she just got underneath it.
Yeah, set was just not high enough for Bolding and her to get on top of it. So she tried to compensate to keep it in, just a little bit too wide there. Those are those transition plays that Rice is able to convert on, and K-State just hasn't been able to.
Yesterday it was the other way around. Long Island was the one doing it in transition. Rice could not. K-State did it against Long Island in the match the other day, and it goes more to Jason Mansfield in passing right into him after the Rice-LIU match yesterday, as you see the block here on Carter. And I had mentioned something to him about the nature of that LIU-Rice match, and he goes, we learned our lesson at Lipscomb. It's every day. It does not matter really how you play the previous match.
It is true. You know Rice, a very capable team, and how they played yesterday definitely wasn't their representation of typical play. And that's kind of the nature of sports. You're going to have some off days, and so definitely wanting to take Rice seriously. Coach Mansfield definitely having that conversation with his team.
Carter decides to swing even harder, trying to get through the block. Throw to the corner, not there. Rice scrambling. Courtly, high hand shot. Grigorski forced to dig. Back to Carter. Maruska on a dive. Courtly again from the middle, or to the middle. She can do no wrong.
Wow, and the digging by Maruska in the back row on that Carter swing gave Courtly the opportunity. That's the difference, the opportunity to make a big play like that.
They were not getting that passing, those digs yesterday when we watched them. Maruska with 16 digs already here today. That is a new season high. Maruska. Here's Bolding on a slide and rolled by Courtly.
We've seen that before. Courtly in the first set had a Huge stuff block, just like that. And again, she dives into that cross-court shot, takes it away from Bolding.
19 kills, 5 digs, 3 blocks for Courtly, hitting .531. She has owned this match. Carter through the block. Veska, but gets the benefit of a blocker in the net. It's Carter. And K-State wants a timeout. Rice not letting up off the gas pedal. A big start for the Owls in the third, looking for a sweep in the Little Apple.
Rally House, shop every team in town. College and pro, come on, it's time to go.
Get ready for kickoff, KC. Rally House has the game day gear you're looking for, including Chiefs sideline gear and the latest college styles.
Kansas, Missouri, Kansas State, Chiefs and Royals make KC great. Rally House, it's your city, it's your house, it's a Rally House.
Gear up in-store and online at rallyhouse.com.
We started at 12, winning 11 deep, and dropping down since 9-6. What happened when the Big 8 met the Southwest? 7 Heismans, count them, with 6 at the net, 5 on the floor, and 4 schools stronger. We put up threes, throw up deuces, and make one thing clear. We've always been greater than 12.
Rice with a good start of the third set, shutting down Aaliyah Carter, who in 37 swings has 9 kills, but 7 attack errors. Been a frustrating night or day so far for K-State as they try to get their feet underneath them. Out of the timeout, Rice serving. Back to Carter, and she will not get a kill. Put over by Courtly. Carter yet again, blocked again. Well, it's been Rice dominating. K-State frustrated. What did they talk about in the huddle? Let's go to Sophie Smith. What'd you get from there, Sophie?
Thanks, Brian. Coach Jason Mansfield said that they have to stay connected and stay together. They can't be individuals out there. They have to work together as a team if they want to win this set.
Carter has had a ton of swings. At what point does K-State try to go elsewhere? The answer right now, I guess, Bolding.
Yes, for sure. Got to get more offensive balance for them. Just everything going outside. So again, Rice's block can just stand out there almost and put up a huge wall. And you know, Carter's trying to rip it and bang it against hands and give themselves opportunities. They just haven't found them.
Sholszewski to the back row. Wildcats need some points. Courtly, good cut of the ball. Joust above the net. Back out to Carter. Again, so many times K-State out of system, forced to throw it out left. Maruska. This time out to the right to Myers. Covered. Courtly got it up and over. Trying to change it up. K-State going more to the right side this time with Myers. And Courtly again. 20 kills for Courtly.
Just a little out of system there, but Courtly just again hitting that K-State block as they're coming down.
Third career 20-kill match for Courtly, pushing towards a career high here. 22 is her best, done twice last season. Myers gets one for the left side finally.
Yeah, it's more of what we saw from Rice yesterday. A pretty easy dig for Maruska there in the back row. We've seen her get much harder ones, just not controlling the ball.
See if K-State can run some points here. Myers and Clinton now up on that front row, and you've got the setter blocking up there. K-State maybe find an advantage through that huge block of Rice. Kenobi. Myers. Rice a bit on the run. Courtley. And miscommunication. Veska cut off Harris, and the ball falls in.
Yeah, so one of those points that can be so huge. You see, K-State can just continue to just put some pressure, get a little miscommunication on Rice's side of the court because they've just been so clean so far today.
Courtley, not a great set. Back to Myers, through the block. So the Wildcats have done what you said, get more balance, and they've gone to the right, and Myers has been the bright spot here in the third. Good serve by Carter, has Rice on the run. Free ball to the Wildcats. Maruska. Did she get it out? She did.
A nice little run here by the Wildcats. Again, we see now Rice making the errors. K-State just keeping things simple.
4-0 run by K-State. And a must-win third. And an ace by Carter. See if Coach Volpe burns a timeout here for Rice. Up 2-0 in command. She's going to want her team to play through it. The veteran coach, former setter at Texas A&M back in the early 90s. Another near ace by Carter. Pipe shot or from the back row coming for Veska, but she missed it wide. And that will be the end of the patience for Coach Volpe. She'll take a timeout here. Aaliyah Carter and the Wildcats on a 6-0 run have pulled within a point as they try to climb back into this match. And no surprise, Carter and Boulding leading the way for K-State. Those are their two that they lean on. Let's go to Sophie Smith, who has more on those two players specifically for Coach Jason Mansfield.
Thanks, Brian. I got the chance to speak with Coach Mansfield earlier this week, and I asked him about the leaders on the team, and without hesitation, he spoke about Aaliyah Carter and Sydney Boulding. He said that they add a lot of physicality to the net, but they also just care a lot about the game, winning, and being successful.
He told us the story. Thank you, Sophie. Great stuff. He told us the story about after the tournament against, or the home matches against Omaha and Nebraska, that Sydney Boulding was so frustrated with her performance that she went to the coach and said, hey, let's get some time in the gym. Grabbed a setter. They went and worked on offense all week before going to Nashville. She pops up and has what we thought we would see all year from her, an All-American type tournament, named to the All-Tournament team.
Yeah, she definitely played so well in Nashville, blocking, but really her offense came alive, and that's what, you know, K-State really needs from her is more offensive addition to their offense, because right now Carter, I mean, the outside hitters right now are just taking so much of the load that the middles have to get going, and really Boulding, she's a key. She has the ability to really move that ball around, and I really have been impressed. I've noticed she is hitting differently than what I've seen previously, so they must have worked on that.
Yeah, because last year it was all wrist away.
Yeah.
All wrist away, wrist away, wrist away. And as you said, has cupped it more this year going left side. Only 15 swings for Boulding, only 11 for Fernholz. You compare that to the outside, the pin hitters for K-State, 40 swings for Carter, 20 for Myers. So K-State, it's all related, right? I mean, if you don't serve well, serve receive well, if you don't pass well, it's hard to push middle. But the Wildcats also just have not been able to get their middles on track. Meanwhile, a Rice team that exudes and talks about constantly balance. We heard Sophie talk about that earlier. Jenny Volpe told us we're better when everybody's getting a balanced attack. Today, they have thrown that to the wind because Courtley has been unstoppable on the left. 39 swings now, 21 kills for Courtley. Myers.
I will definitely say sometimes when you have a player with a hot hand like that, you just keep feeding that. You just keep feeding that hot hand, and obviously Rice is doing that, and it's paying off dividends. You know, at times when you don't have that player that's going off like that, then yes, that balanced offense is so key. And that's what K-State needs, more balance, because they don't have someone that's just going to automatic kills.
Boulding trying to do that for K-State. Gets it in on the left side. There you go. There's that same, what we were talking about, changing up her shot this year in the recent weeks. So Boulding suddenly now with a half a dozen kills, second on the team, and she'll go back to serve in case they will leave her in this rotation to serve. Rice has shot balls right at her when she's been in there. This time, though, they go to the right. And Kenobi on the slide behind the setter.
Yeah.
Gets the side out.
Kenobi, just that deep corner. I mean, it's so hard to defend. That is such a great shot.
Kenobi 2 kills, but both have been in big spots. She has had 6 blocks up front. Clinton, who has been quiet here tonight. Wildcats go back to the right to Myers, and she'll finish.
Myers, best swing so far today, just more power. She had almost one-on-one with Maraska and just rips that cross-court shot.
3 kills in this set for Myers, now up to 7 in the match. Rice won the first one, running away with it, 25-15. A back-and-forth affair in the second, 25-23. 2 late points by Rice to win it after it was tied at 23 all. Maraska. Pipe shot, Carter, and she got that in.
Yeah, definitely a piece of their offense that's been a little bit lacking lately. K-State likes to take advantage of Carter in the back row as an attacker. It just adds another layer to that offense.
Second time in 3 matches for Carter in double figures. Came in averaging 3 kills a set, 3.15. Tight for Maraska. Solseski wanted to attack, but couldn't get much on it. Solseski tries again. Trying to tie this up on the Wildcats here. A bit out of system, thrown out to Clinton. McCardle digs. Maraska blocked. McCardle with a save. Clinton to the rally. No, it's Kostelecki with a block.
And you see the difference there. K-State not able in that transition to get an effective swing on the outside and just hitting a little low into that Rice block.
Block was a huge benefit for Rice in the first set. They had 6 blocks in the first set alone. And starting to stack them up again here in the third.
A smart play there by Maraska, knowing where the setter is. She's front row. She is an attacker. She can take the ball over, knowing her responsibility.
6 blocks already in the third set by this Rice squad. Fernholz on the slide, hits it long, no touch. And Jason Mansfield may want a review on this. Already used a timeout, a de facto timeout here, a challenge by Jason Mansfield and the Wildcats to see if there was a touch on this slide by Fernholz. Looking to catch the fingers of Maraska.
Ooh, that is about as close.
Extremely close, but I don't think she got it.
I know.
Good camera work there by our folks. Multi-million-dollar renovation this offseason for K-State HD-TV to better produce these matches for ESPN platforms, including the addition of high-speed cameras and reviews.
Don't see the finger bend back.
Nope.
Wow, that's close.
Very close. 2 players that hung in the air a very long time.
Oh.
They are going to give a touch. A break for K-State. We didn't think we saw one, but Bill Stanley thought he did. And in the end, his opinion is all that matters. So Fernholz gets credit for a kill. And instead of it being a 4-point deficit, it's a 2-point set and a must-win third for K-State. And the Wildcats will be serving with Grigorski. Transfer from Wisconsin, who went to a Final Four in a national championship match with the Badgers, playing as a back row defensive specialist and backup outside hitter. Super senior in her last collegiate volleyball year playing with the Wildcats. Veska, done by Grigorski. Carter finally gets one over the block and in.
Much better swing there by Carter. I like a little bit higher contact for her and able to just slip it inside the block there.
Such a huge block too. Kostelecki, Veska both 6'4", sitting out there on the right side in front of her. Carter at 5'9", swinging away. Maruska. Fernholz trying to throw it to the corner. McCardle was quickly there. Tip try. Big communication by K-State. Played over the net. Kostelecki puts it down. Rice by 2.
Wow, that angle that Kostelecki's hitting that ball at, it almost looks like it's so low she can't hit it, but able to find a way over the net. It's fast.
Maruska to serve. Served 11 straight points at one point in the first set, and she'll get an ace here. Only the second of the day for Rice.
Yeah, it's a little deceptive, her serve. She's got a nice little float. It just dropped there on Morris.
Morris misplays again. Carter trying to clean it up, hits it long. So 2 serve receives in a row by the normally reliable Mackenzie Morris. Did not go as planned, and Rice puts 2 points on the board. And suddenly the lead back to 4. 12 digs for Morris. Serve received the issue at the moment. Better that time. K-State pinned to the right corner. Here comes Courtley. Grigorski too aggressive on that pass. And it was waiting for Kostelecki and Veska. Timeout, K-State. Rice by 5. The Wildcats will burn their final timeout, and it is a difficult road ahead for K-State as you look to their future schedule. We mentioned this already. This is the second of a 4-match homestand and the last of the quote-unquote preseason, as coaches like to call it, the non-conference schedule. And then Big 12 play begins. TCU opened the year as a top 25 team, starting to show that now they are a team that's probably going to get votes in the latest poll. They may be ranked. We'll see coming up next week. Then you go to West Virginia, which has been a difficult place to play for the Wildcats historically. Cincinnati, a new member of the league, and then Baylor, a team that's also playing very well, had a big win last night.
Yeah, every match is a battle coming up in the Big 12, and we've seen it, you know, year in and year out. Just, you know, especially on the road, playing on the road some of these matches. You know, West Virginia may not be on the top echelon of the Big 12, but playing on the road at West Virginia is always difficult. And then you add in the new mix of new teams. It's going to be a challenging year for K-State, but opportunities at every game to make some big progress towards trying to make that NCAA tournament.
Trying to get back to the postseason. K-State's been to just one NCAA tournament in the last 6 years. This is a program that historically has been in the top 4 or 5 of the Big 12 every single season. They've kind of hit on some tough times here the last 6 years. The legendary head coach Susie Fritz took a step down at the end of last year, or moved on after last season. Jason Mansfield in, trying to get this program back to where it deserves to be. I mean, you look up and see those banners that hang here at Morgan Family Arena that list all the NCAA tournament appearances, the 3 Sweet 16s, the Big 12 championship year. Trying to get back to that glory day, if you will, of this proud program. A multi-million-dollar arena, state-of-the-art arena, to call their own. Well-deserved. Hinkle unable to handle that cross-court shot. Meanwhile, Rice has found something here with their team. Brenna Schmidt is going to come in. K-State just finds something to help out. Maruska, Veska, Harris. It feels like those 3 added to the lineup of Rice has settled them down.
Yeah, definitely much better just rhythm, you know, and defensive effort. I feel like they're just taking care of the ball better than they were than the other combinations of players.
Quick set, Kostelecki. K-State kept it alive. Jenny Volpe saying that was down. Should have been a call against K-State. And now Szulczewski caught underneath the net, ran into Courtley, and Szulczewski grabs her foot immediately.
Yeah, it's a unfortunate situation there. Looks like an ankle maybe.
Emily Trausch out to take a look at Szulczewski, trying to get her over to the bench for K-State. There's the immediate shock. So we get a look at this here. Szulczewski coming down. And they stepped on friendly fire there. Brenna Schmidt's shoe. Rolled that left ankle. Look at this angle. Yep.
Yeah, it's just a little bit different. Usually you roll it to the inside, but that time she rolled it out. Ouch.
Well, now Hinkle, who also is not 100%, will take over at center. K-State has another setter on the roster, and Ava LeGrand, a sophomore from Nebraska. So that would be the number 3 option should K-State need it. But it's all on Hinkle now. Coach Fiona Finotti, who was on the left side of your screen there, former Fiona Nepo, All-American setter at Nebraska. She is the setters coach for K-State. Giving Hinkle a high five there to kind of say, all right, let's go, let's roll. Fiona Nepo, for those that don't know, just one of the best setters in the nation when she was at Nebraska. High-flying Huskers team that was always ranked top 5, top 10.
Yeah, just fun to watch play. Just the love of the game, and grew up playing it, and just that nature, her nature playing on the court. Fun to watch. And won a national championship with Nebraska, so.
Great fun to talk to still.
Yes.
Fiona, Coach Fee, as she's called, you get around her. She was at West Virginia last year, wanted to get back closer to the Midwest, has a big family, 5 kids, and married to a former football player at Nebraska, and just a lot of fun to visit with. Just has a great nature about her, pretty low-key, laid back, quick one-liners from Coach Fee.
Yeah, but she's a competitor. You can tell she'll get her setters going, and give them that kind of mentality that she had playing.
But what an addition to the K-State's coaching lineup there. A legend like that on your bench. Providing some assistance now for K-State as they try to pick up the pieces. Down 6, and now down Izzy Szulczewski, who has been one of the best players for K-State all season. Maruska serving. Dahlia Wilson has checked in for K-State on the right, as Szulczewski was at that point as a right side hitter in K-State's lineup. Wilson had to go through her hands. It's played over. Wilson helps Schmidt with the block on Courtley.
Okay, whatever it takes, K-State, just whatever opportunities these players are given, they got to get on, they got to be ready to compete. Nice job by Dahlia Wilson putting up that block, and Schmidt finishing. A little late there, but gets her hands over.
So Morris to serve. K-State down 5. Courtley over a pretty big block. Morris gets the dig. Gregorski just dropped it over, nearly fell in. Right side into the block. Hinkle to Carter. Harris has her pick. Wants to go middle. Kostelecki had it blocked back at her. Courtley cuffing into the corner. Gregorski with a great dig. Tight set coming for Carter. Barely over. And a block at the middle on Courtley. But K-State was in the net. Wilson into the net. And Jason Mansfield
will challenge it with the ball.
That's right. He's going to challenge this play that it wasn't Wilson, but instead was the ball into the net.
Yeah, hard to tell there.
Didn't see anybody touch the net. Might have been the hair of Kostelecki who went to the ground. Her ponytail whipped behind her. Either way, the entire rally will be reviewed here by Stanley. and determined if anything could go K-State's way. The Wildcats are out of timeouts, trying to find anything to slow down the momentum of Rice down the stretch. Again, if you just joined us, Izzy Sholseski with an injury a moment ago. Down for K-State and out with an ankle turn, stepping on a teammate. Quick review by Bill Stanley, and a point to Rice. Saw Bill Stanley when Jason Mansfield said what he wanted to review. Bill Stanley kind of gave him a shrug like, this is a waste of time. Like, no.
Well, you got to try, I think, at this point for K-State. It's not a terrible idea to try to challenge that.
Both challenges burned now by K-State, so they're out of challenges unless somehow they could rally this and get it to 5. A daunting prospect. K-State needs 11 points. Rice needs just 5 to win the set and the match. Carter. Back to Courtley. Blocked again by Wilson.
See a much bigger block there for K-State, taking advantage, trying to shut down Courtley. She's been unstoppable all night.
Dahlia Wilson. So Hinkle's going to rotate out. K-State's going to stay with a 6-2. They're going to go with Ava LeGrand at center. She'll be the one to serve this up. So the sophomore gets a run for K-State. And I think this has more to do with, again, Hinkle not being 100% than anything else. Just not able to go all 6 rotations yet. Courtley popped over. Hinkle out of the play, or LeGrand out of the play. A little out of system are the Owls. Courtley with a career high tying 22 kill afternoon. Myers. Veska from her knees. And Harris controls over. Cats go middle to Boulding and just not in sync with LeGrand. She pumps it out.
I think that's the right set, just not high enough for Boulding to do anything with it.
Veska. Just 2 sets yesterday, just a set against Texas. Service error at a bad spot for Rice, but she has played very well today. Veska 5 kills, 5 blocks, 3 digs. And now Carter to the back row to serve for K-State. Courtley. Long run for LeGrand, she won't get there. And if that kill is given to Courtley, that'll be a new career high. And it is 23 for Danielle Courtley. Mansfield. McCardle did not get to that, but they're almost stunned when McCardle doesn't get to it. The back line. 14 digs for her, 8 assists for McCardle today, the honorable mention All-American. It's kind of at that point right now where K-State has to make a run if they're to get into this match and have any hopes of winning the set.
Yep.
Maruska, heady tip past Myers. And now Rice sides it back out to their side and have it in a good spot. They've sided out at over 62%. They've kept K-State at bay. The Wildcats have only sided out at 47% today. Just have not been able to break the serve of Rice in those runs of points. LeGrand and Schmidt get kind of mixed up. Clinton the swing. Kostelecki trying to finish off the Wildcats. Maruska on the overpass. Good turn by LeGrand to Clinton. A little transition bright spot for K-State.
Yeah, good dig by Carter, back row on that overpass. And then gave Clinton an opportunity there. Dahlia
Wilson comes back And then Hinkle is in to the back row. She plays a couple of rotations back there. Wilson back to the front. K-State down 5. Hinkle, a much needed good serve. Thrown out over to Maruska. Here comes Clinton. Hard swing. What an up from Mansfield in the back line, and it's controlled over. Maybe the play of the match for Rice. Clinton answers though with a rally killer.
Tough to do. Clinton doing a nice job and not trying to do too much transition. Everyone knew where the ball was going. Does a good job getting the kill.
Timeout Rice as the Owls try to slow down Kansas State. Here's what Rice has upcoming. I mentioned K-State's future schedule. The Owls begin conference play soon as well. They have one more non-conference tilt on tap, UAB, to wrap things up on Wednesday. That on ESPN Plus. Then they are at Tulsa for 2, UTSA at home for 2, then Memphis, Charlotte to follow that. They'll get the SMU big-time matchup coming up in mid-October. That'll be the showdown that may decide the West Division. Those two were picked 1 and 2. And of course, SMU not long for the AAC. They'll be a member of the ACC soon next year as conference realignment continues to build. But if Rice can maintain their level of play from the end of yesterday and what they've shown today, I think they'll be all right moving forward.
Yeah, definitely a high-quality team here who could definitely make NCAA tournament again and make a run at it.
11th career double-double for Sahara Maruska, who's on the left side of your screen, sitting next to McCardle. She's got the pink barrette in her hair. Maruska, 10 kills, 20 digs. That's a new career high for her. She's at 267 on the left. And then the big story, Danielle Courtley, career high 23 kills, hitting .404 on the left side. 77 of the 125 swings for Rice today have come from 19 and 14 for Rice, and they have delivered. And Maruska, credit to her, senior, you lost your spot to a freshman, didn't drop your head, didn't pout, go right back to work.
Yep. Be ready to play at any time because you never know when your number is going to get called.
Her number did yesterday, midway through that set, responded, came in, was a huge turn in that match for Rice, and now maybe leading them to a straight set win over the homestanding Wildcats. Clinton. Maruska trying to get it closer and closer to match point. Carter from the back row. Veska from the right, dug by Carter. Low set, Clinton, and she can't get it over. And it is match point for the Owls. I was wrong. K-State does have a challenge remaining. I thought they had lost both challenges. They had one challenge left. Jason Mansfield will use it here on match point.
Why not?
No need to keep it in the back pocket. We look for anything to try and slow down this Rice offense. Now, Morgan Family Arena opening this year, the multi-million-dollar facility that is the new home of the Wildcats. We saw record-breaking crowds against Omaha and Nebraska the first weekend. This place will be jumping, next week when they host TCU. A little lighter today with football going on at the same time, but capacity around 3,000 plus, 3,100 at its max. Some standing room positions around. Of course, you have the big club area on one end as well. Enormous video boards, state-of-the-art locker room, training center, and this is attached as well to the Morris Family Athletic Center, which is the Olympic training center for all of the teams. 16 K-State sports, 12 of the 16 sports will use that Olympic training center that's on the other side. Strength room, training rooms, hydrotherapy rooms, all state-of-the-art attached as well to this building. $30-some-odd million facility, capping off a nearly $400 million Building Champions facilities infrastructure campaign for K-State. Incredible stuff, all privately funded. Veska, right side, no touch, hit it long. Second match point coming for Rice. Gregorski in for Clinton, and Gregorski to serve. Still match point for Rice. Any point wins it for them. K-State would need 4 in a row to tie it, force extras. Maruska has had plenty of action, going for the win. Blocked by Talia Wilson and Schmidt.
That's a huge block there for Maruska as an undersized outside hitter. See here what adjustments Rice makes.
Credit to Wilson, anytime your number's called, just like you said, 3 big blocks for the native of Turkey, the sophomore in for K-State on the right side. Gregorski to serve again. Match point again. Maruska tips this time. No save for Hinkle. Rice comes into Manhattan and wins in straight sets against the Wildcats.
Yeah, impressive showing here today by Rice. They're just a completely different team than what we saw yesterday. They came ready to play and compete. And Courtley, what a day for her.
Unbelievable. Career high 23 kills for Danielle Courtley as they get the victory. Jenny Volpe's team wins in straight sets and now has won 2 in a row against Kansas State. Let's go to Sophie Smith, who is with a victorious Jenny Volpe.
Thanks, Brian. So how important is this momentum going into next week?
Oh, it's huge. I mean, we've had a tough preseason. You know, we've played a lot of quality competition. This was certainly an example of that. And so for us to get a win and a sweep at that on the road, we're pretty pleased.
Who stood out to you today?
I'm sorry?
Who stood out to you today?
Oh, gosh. I thought Sahara and Danielle played really well. Danielle Courtley led us in kills, I believe, and just all around. The whole team just came together in that match, and so it was nice to see. We made some changes, and it didn't faze us, and it was just an overall great team performance.
Congratulations. Thanks, Coach.
Thank you, Sophie. Appreciate that. Danielle Courtley, no doubt the story. 23 kills, hits 404 on the left. Sahara Maruska, also mentioned there by Coach Volpe, 11 kills, a career high 20 digs on the left, a double-double for her, her first of the season. Here are the final numbers. Errors the issue for K-State, and just not terminal enough on the left. They never got in a rhythm, it seemed like, and even with the loss of Sholszewski at the end, which now becomes the concern with a week off before next week, never could get in rhythm with their hitters and balancing it across the board.
Yeah, it's just, you know, they got to find some answers here. They got to get in the gym, get some work done, because, you know, next week, starting with TCU, Big 12 Conference starts. No time, no rest for the weary. You have the tools, they have the options there. They just got to figure out those answers.
Next up for Kansas State, the Big 12. TCU coming up next Thursday on $2 night here at Morgan Family Arena. Select concessions and tickets $2. Come and join us for that one. We'll have the call for you as well. For Sophie Smith, Liz Wagner-Bush, our producer-director today, Chris Jordan, and our entire crew, thank you for watching this presentation of ESPN. And this reminder, all games airing on the ESPN platforms are streaming live and archived on the ESPN app. Until next Thursday, good night for the Little Apple on Big 12 Now on ESPN+.